The Mr. Men and Little Misses in Paris. Roger Hargreaves. One evening in January, the friends met at Little Miss Splendid's for dinner. They began to discuss their next vacation destination. "I've always dreamed of going to Paris," declared Little Miss Splendid, "to see all the shops, the designers, the shoes, and the hats." "It's not just that," says Mr. Happy. "We could visit the art galleries." "And see all the monuments," suggested Little Miss Sunshine. "And eat French cheese! Yum!" cried Mr. Greedy. In the spring, the friends left for Paris. Little Miss Splendid took a long time to pack. What hats should she take? She couldn't make up her mind, so she took them all. The first day they visited Notre Dame de Paris, and Mr. Noisy had lots of fun ringing the bells. "Oh no, not the bells!" moaned poor Mr. Quiet. Then they went to the Louvre Museum to admire the most famous painting in the world, Mona Lisa, by Leonardo da Vinci, known for her mysterious smile. There's nothing mysterious about Little Miss Sunshine's smile. In the evening, Mr. Uppity invited them to dinner in the most chic of Parisian hotels, where they savoured the best of French cuisine. The cheese platter lived up to Mr. Greedy's expectations. He found all kinds of cheese there: runny cheese, fresh cheese, blue cheese, and cheese that smelled very, very bad. Mr. Greedy ate so much cheese that the next day, when the friends were cruising in the Bateau Mouche on the Seine, the boat began to sink. Having barely recovered from this misadventure, the friends headed for Montmartre. While walking on the Place du Tertre, they discovered the famous caricaturists. Mr. Rude proved to be very good at drawing caricatures. Mr. Rude is also very good at being rude, even when he draws. In the evening they dined in the square, and Mr. Greedy ordered a cheese fondue, a whole pot all to himself. Mr. Greedy ate so much cheese again, that night he dreamed he was climbing the Eiffel Tower to admire the view, and the tower was beginning to bend under his weight. The leaning Eiffel Tower. The next day the friends did indeed visit the Eiffel Tower, but Mr. Greedy decided not to climb to the top, just in case. There were many other monuments to see in Paris, like the Arc de Triomphe. It was really huge, even bigger than Mr. Greedy's belly, and so tall that Mr. Tall didn't have to bend over to get under it. Then Mr. Nosey and Little Miss Scatterbrain took a car to drive around Paris. The other friends left on foot. Of course, Little Miss Scatterbrain drove the wrong way on a one-way street. The constable was not very happy about it. Oh dear. With the car parked, they would meet with their friends in a bakery for lunch. Mr. Nosey bought a baguette sandwich. The baguette was as long as his nose. Mr. Greedy chose a cheese sandwich, a cheese soufflé, a cheese omelette, and a croque monsieur. Then he took a nap and dreamed that they were going to the opera. Mr. Greedy dreamed he was singing on stage and the stage would eventually collapse under his weight. That evening the friends were to go to the Opera Garnier. Mr. Greedy preferred not to accompany them, just in case. On the last day, Little Miss Splendid's dreams came true. She went shopping on the Champs-Élysées. She visited all the shops of famous designers, and she bought hats, lots of hats, and more hats. 52 hats in total, one for each week of the year. You can count them if you don't believe me. Then the time for departure had arrived. At the airport, Mr. Greedy looked at the aeroplane, and then he looked at his tummy, and then he looked at the aeroplane, and then he thought of all the cheese he had eaten. So he decided to take the train, just in case. Thank you for listening.